Welcome. Today we're going to do an interesting exploration of a home care agency's website and a little bit about their paid advertising. So one of my colleagues came up to me and showed me this keyword and well, I'll just start by typing it in. It's home care marketing plan. So someone that looks for this on Google, you wouldn't anticipate that they would be like a family member or a patient or a client interested in home care supports. It'd be more like someone that works at a home care agency trying to think of ways that they can advertise their service to potential clients. So you anticipate that if you were to look for this keyword on Google, you wouldn't be seeing an agency trying to advertise their services to a potential family member or patient interested in bathing or dressing. You'd be more looking into having a business, say like a marketing agency like ours, advertise to potential business owners looking to develop their marketing plan. But when we search for this keyword, let's see what pops up. It's actually, look at that, the first agency here is a home care agency. Now, it looks like they provide in-home care for seniors, but that's not really what this keyword is looking for. This keyword is looking for something totally different. So the next one here, IBM, marketing planning tools. Yes, that makes sense as an advertising. So whoever's doing the paid advertising for Memories Plus HHC isn't really doing too well. They should really look into using exclusion keywords to remove things like marketing plan from their advertising. So they don't want to show ads to someone that would be looking for a marketing plan. Let's look into their website a little bit and see how they did over there. So going into their website, very nice big title, really says exactly what they do. They provide home healthcare services. And another thing that I love about this is the big call to action button here, the schedule a free nurse consultation. Really great to say it's also free. That's really an incentive. Some people say would be interested in this to say just like see what their options are, right? So having a nurse from your staff go out and really evaluate the kind of supports and care needs that someone may have is sort of a good way to get the foot in the door and get them to come onto your service. Also, many people and family members in the community are not really sure what a nurse does. Sometimes they feel like a nurse does things like personal care, like bathing and dressing support. Of course, that's not the case, but having it listed here really sort of speaks their language. So really good job on here. The one thing that I would say about really everything above the fold, so when you first pop into the website, is their telephone number here. It's very small. It should really be significantly larger. Some people like to call numbers right away, and you should make this as visible as possible. So make it very easy for them to see. Same thing with the email. Some people like to ask a few questions, get a sense of what kind of supports and services are offered. So make this bigger. Number one recommendation right off the top of the bat here. But they do have a what we do section here, really good. So really highlights exactly what they do at the very beginning of their website when you first pop into it. So nurse case management, great. Companion care, so some socialization, any home care supports. So very broad what that means. So it could be anything from like help with meals as shown in the picture to bathing or dressing support. So really personal care, that's the next one. So help with shaving, bathing. They offer nursing foot care, great. They have transportation help, good. And I like how their images correspond to what sort of the title says. So a little bit of a feedback both in written text, but also a visual representation. Hospital discharge is really good, showing someone that might be potentially a little bit weaker, getting pushed in a wheelchair after a hospital admission. Oftentimes people are a little bit deconditioned, not able to do as much as they were before. It's really good targeting of something that is a key issue for many patients and many family members. And then there's recreational therapy, so maybe some social interaction and really participating in some kind of activity to keep the brain active. Great, love this. Respite care for someone that needs service more like at a higher level, because maybe family members are going on a vacation, or they're going in to have their own surgery of some kind, or they're going to be predisposed due to some illness. Definitely good service to have. And then of course they have other things like nursing care services. So it could be anything from like a subcutaneous injection of medication that needs to happen every day, every week, every month. They have things like online care monitoring, so something like maybe tele-home care, where you can check in with someone virtually by phone, either, I'm not sure exactly what system they would use, but something like that would have visual sort of meeting through the internet. They have a quick description of their mission and their values, which is great. And once again, their contact information, so where they're situated, to really show that this agency is legit, and their number again. Really good to have it multiple times in a few key spots. Their email address, great. Now, one thing that I don't like is this section right here. So it's great to sign up, get a few names and emails, so you can build an email list to reach out to potential clients and customers, and give them regular updates about your agency, and also topics of potential interest like getting care at home. But the CAPTCHA here, not a fan of this. Unless you're getting thousands and thousands of daily visitors to your website, this would actually hurt you. And I'll tell you why. If there's any barrier to putting in your name, putting in your email, and then sending it off and getting on that list, some people might not do it, especially if this is one of those that you have to solve a puzzle, like pick the sort of the square that has the bikes, or the square that shows like the crosswalk in it. This will hurt you. It'll result in less people signing up for your newsletter. Of course, it'll result in less spam that your staff have to deal with, but at the same time, it can result in less conversions, less people signing up for your newsletter. On the flip side, if you were to exclude this, your staff would be dealing with a few more spam emails, spam names, and maybe you'd have to go in and manually delete those. But at the same time, when you don't have this, you'd get a few more referrals potentially. Now, exploring some of the services that they offer, let's go under specialty care. So they have things for palliative care, Parkinson's, stroke, Alzheimer's, and dementia. Let's click, for instance, into stroke. Really big heading here. So we do stroke care. And they go into it a little bit here, says what kind of care they provide. So looking into activities of daily living, sure. But one thing where they're sort of lacking as a website is having the call button, like here, having their number again to say, yes, you've read all my information. It's really good. Oh, are you interested? Call us. The button right here, there's even a space for it. So really, they should have a button here that says, click here to sign up for our care, get in touch with us, and then maybe even the telephone number to say, give us a call right away, where we have staff ready and willing to take your call, so we can set up some care for you right away. And it's sort of the same thing in all the specialty care pages here. So if we go into Parkinson's, it'll be the same thing. Under the fold, there's nothing, there's no call to action again. So definitely a missed opportunity to have better conversions and potentially more clients there. Now, going on to the next part that we wanted to cover about this website, we will look at the view page source. So this is the information on sort of the back end that says how a website is constructed. So it has like a lot of information about plugins and content that someone might be using. We want to look for WordPress. So, you see here they say the WordPress version that they use, it's 5.72. I believe that's the most up-to-date version currently, but it is never a good idea to publicly display that because hackers and other individuals on the internet search for these, and if they know any exploits for this particular version or if you have an older version of WordPress, they can easily hack it and put some malicious code in there to either take your website down or drive any visitors to potentially somewhere else, or even display hurtful messaging on your website. So never a good idea to have that displayed publicly. It would be the webmaster or whoever is involved in creating your website that should be removing that. At least the more secure websites out there that take web security very seriously, they do not display that there. Next, I do want to talk about this, the Facebook pixel code. So what this does is it puts a tracking code on anyone that visits a site. So now they've been sort of identified as potentially having an interest in this case, home healthcare services. So the advantage of having this is now it identifies a potential group that you can display advertising to, and the advertising for this group is going to have significantly better return on investment. So if you spend $10 on advertising here, you'll have way better chance of having that person convert and maybe sign up for your service and send you like a contact form saying, hey, we're interested in home care supports, because they were already previously on your website. They might have had an interest in it already. So advertising to these people is really good for your advertising dollars. And now a quick summary of the things that we've covered so far today. Using exclusion keywords, very helpful for paid advertising. You want to exclude keywords that are not really something that your target audience would be searching for. So for instance, marketing plan, that's not something that someone that has had a hospital discharge and is looking for home care would be searching for in Google. So you want to exclude keywords like that. Make sure you're not spending your advertising dollars to show ads to people that aren't actually even interested in your service. That'll cost you money and really won't give you any customers for it. So definitely have exclusion keywords. Larger contact information on your website. People are interested in your service. They've come to your site because they want to know about home care or some kind of healthcare service that you offer. Make it easy for them to get in touch with you. Have your number, have your email really big, really bold at the top where they can easily find it and get a hold of you. Tell your audience what you do. A lot of reach out from like a patient or a family to your home care agency or your healthcare service is going to be things that are unrelated. So some people don't provide foot care, for instance, but a lot of people will ask if you do foot care. You can make this easier for anyone that visits your website by already telling them what you do. So having a good section of all the services that you offer is really helpful and really gives your audience and any website visitors an idea of what kind of support you offer. More call to action buttons, really helpful. You want to increase the amount of people that you get as an agency. So you want to build your client base, and the way to do that is to have call to action buttons. So if you're saying we do service XYZ, then at the bottom of that quick description, have a button that says your telephone number and has your email address, or something that goes to a contact form that someone can fill out and submit for you to reach out to them at a later point in time. Always be mindful of web security. So we highlighted why it's not a good idea to have the version code of WordPress that you have publicly displayed. So try to have your webmaster remove that so you can avoid any malicious attacks on your site that might take your website down and prevent your customers and your clients from finding it. And really good idea to have a tracking pixel. Advertising return on investment is way higher for someone that has already come to your website and might already be interested in home care supports or healthcare supports. So by having this tracking pixel, it sort of identifies these people that already have that interest, and then you can advertise specifically to those individuals again. And those advertising dollars, they actually have a better return on investment for the most part compared to advertising to a general topic area of all arthritis sufferers that have issues with potentially bathing. Some of them might not have issues, but if they're already on your website, it says that maybe they were, and maybe they were interested in some kind of additional help. So having this tracking pixel helps to identify those people and allows you to get some ads to them, get them maybe to see your service again and to maybe sign up for it. So I hope this was a helpful session and that you learned something. If you ever need any support looking for really the experts in healthcare, we are an agency that we're made of healthcare workers and we service health brands. So we work on everything from search engine optimization to website optimization to targeted advertising and much more, including content marketing and content creation. If any of those things are something that you need to build your client base and get stronger as an agency, feel free to reach out to us. We're at healthworkermarketing.com. Thank you, and see you again next time.